Seven of Wands. Queen of Coins is all about knowing your value, knowing your worth, seeing what's in your pantry, being ready, having it all stocked, and being resourceful. This is what you're going to need to do. You're going to need to balance the resources. It doesn't mean you have to be a miser, but this is a card of frugality and protecting what you need to protect while staying stable, like financially and resource-wise. This is something you're going to have to figure out here, but you have the wherewithal and the knowledge, and you know how to do it. You need to be around those that would value your time and resources so you don't have energetic or material leaks, bleeds, drains around you. So this is, be mindful of this. In May, you need to know your worth, know your value, and don't let people that are wasting time, wasting energy, siphon, and that's the word I'm getting, siphon it off of you. June. Hold your boundaries, hold your boundaries. If you're creating new boundaries, when you say no to someone and it's a new boundary for them, it's not comfortable for them. It's not at all comfortable for them. And it's a little bit uncomfortable for you. It doesn't mean you have to ruminate and go over it and go over it and go over it again. No, just create the new boundary. Hold the new boundary, because you're straddling two lands with this card. And you're caught a little bit off guard. Maybe you thought somebody understood where that boundary was for you, and you're having to reassert it. And by now they probably should understand it. If they're just being thick as a brick, or they just can't think bigger than their little world, sometimes that's problematic and sometimes that's challenging. Hold your boundary anyway in June. July, Six of Wands. You're going to be victorious here. You got the 7 and then here's the 6. 6 is a victory. People are recognizing something you've succeeded well at. You're doing well, being lifted up and raised up. And it's giving us an echo here. So these 3 months might be a little bit challenging for you, but by the time you're sitting about mid-July, this energy is coming in much more fully. Let's see what else is going on. I want to clarify on this July. Okay. Yeah. You have the big reward for yourself, and you can share with others because you've held on to something very, not just frugally, but strongly, wisely. You've been smart with not just your money, but your energetic currency too. This is what's coming in for July. August, Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is the player, lady slayer. He's the Romeo card and also the card of the dreamer. Knight of Cups is offering the Grail. And this is when, if you go pursuing the Grail or think somebody else is holding the Grail for you and you're not pursuing it for yourself, that's when you run into trouble. This one has all the emotions in the world to offer, all the dreams in the world to offer, but if you're pursuing somebody else's dream, it's not going to be fulfilling. So in July, focus on what is it that is your Holy Grail, the pursuit of your heart, the desire that is emotionally and strongly connected to your spirit. This is what it is. There's an offering. When you go forward, then you let others accompany you. You don't follow their lead. The Knight will go questing, ever questing. But if you're following somebody else's quest, it's not satisfying. Be very, very aware of it. This one's aware of it here in May. You're aware of it here, but you might get a little bit, it feels like there's a, when the court cards come through, they can represent actual other people. And it feels like there is another person that kind of takes you off track or takes a little minor detour. So just be mindful as that happens. This is August, September. Full illumination with the sun. Love this. Love all the sunflowers there. There's something about drawing or getting a visual image about the dreams that you have, the thing that you want to quest. Okay, hang on. You hang on. The dreams that you're drawing, something about the, you know, when people do vision boards, it's like if you draw like a color crayon version of a house, it needs to be on the board. You need to get your vision board, your dreams and desires that you want to do, they need to be more clear. They need to be like on a vision board. Between August and September, you need to put something up because something you want is changing and you need to get more clarity about it. This is what this person's teaching you. It's getting you clear on what is your dream and what is someone else's, and it needs to be yours. And this is like when the clarity is there. Get it on your vision board if you want to see more of it coming through, because you're going to be in hot pursuit of something different. This is what's coming in. This is September. Okay, going into October. October is where all the ducks are in a row. Yeah, get it in there. Get it on the board. I don't care if it sounds silly. I know people say vision board, vision board, vision board. No, get 6 or 7 pictures with words that are associated by your mind to what that picture means to you. Slap it in your bathroom so every time you're sitting on the throne, you're seeing what is your dream. Get it going for yourself, because this is when it tries to come in. The universe is lining something up and it's ducks in a row. Ready, aim, fire, 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 fire. Ready to go. This is where everything needs to be lined up and it's moving fast, fast, fast. The 9 of Wands comes in, and this is something you're resilient about. You have the 7 over here, the 9 over here. There's a lot of fire energy through here for you. This is the inspired energy. This is something you need to defend what it is that's your path. And then here, In December, you're doing the work, doing the work, doing the work. I want one more for covering this fall area, something that bridges through here. Let's see what's going on there. Ha! Whoa, okay. We got the King of Pentacles here, the supportive energy here, the one that knows how hard the Queen was working here, honors this as very, very equal and helps stack and back whatever it is you need to do. They are going to stack and back the resources. They are going to help support you. I couldn't do this show and couldn't do this without my husband working like this. This is very fun for me and I love it, but it's not like I'm getting rich doing this, right? And I couldn't do this without his support. If he's like, woman, you don't need another tarot deck in your own whole natural life, I'd probably cry. But his support means a lot to me. It doesn't mean that you can't do things on your own, but the support being there is super helpful to you because you've defended what your purpose is. And when you defend it and you are excited and motivated about what your purpose is, it gets others excited about it too. Then karma is balancing something for you as you do your work in the fall. This is what's coming up for you. This is huge for you. Okay, what's happening in January? Knight of Pentacles. This is the preparation that you've made all through here and the work that you've done in December here. Now in January, you're moving forward, and it feels slow, but it's actually very fruitful. It's very rewarding and good for you going forward. Yeah, there is going to be, and it feels like there is going to be some kind of financial reward that hits in January. It's like you're going to know not to overspend in the holiday season. You know you're going to follow whatever it is that makes sense to your heart, to your North Star, to your dreams, all of this in the fall. You're not going to overspend and be like in competition spending mode this whole thing. You're going to be frugal enough, mindful enough, and aware enough that by here, when you're really chasing after things, it will have accumulated. It will have stacked. And it will have become second nature, whatever this is you're doing. Ace of Swords coming in February with the Six of Cups. This is a little bit of the nostalgia card, looking back to childhood, friendship, lightheartedness, happiness, and the truth of what the situation actually was. Sometimes the two, we were watching Matlock, the two things can be true at once. Sometimes we can see things through the rose-colored glasses and still know exactly what they were. And it doesn't mean that we have to take away from it. We can just understand that this period that is in the past, that we are a little bit nostalgic about, maybe we have a little bit of vulnerability or soft spot towards that. Maybe we're overly idealistic about something like that, particularly in February. And the truth of the situation is what you know it to be, what you carry it to be, and both of these can be understood. My childhood was very hard and difficult in some certain ways, and in other ways it was fantastic. And unlike a lot of other kids, my siblings, I love and cherish my siblings. It doesn't mean that they're without quirks or without flaws. We all have our flaws, but we're very, very different from each other. So sometimes that's a tricky relationship. It's kind of that energy going on. And it's not necessarily sibling. It's just about the over-idyllic and the truth of a thing. Something that's truth and bone. You can still have an appreciation for something that's a little bit difficult, even though it is colored in pink, right? Okay. March. Eight of Cups. I want to see what's going on here. This is the miniature of the Hermit to me, and you're leaving something behind. It's like you've looked at what this was in February, and in March you're ready to step towards something new. And it might be you're just setting up more firm boundaries again, once again, saying, yeah, nah, this isn't fulfilling. Yeah, nah, I'm going to go my own way. And that's just fine to do. What else is going on with that? I want a clarifier for that. The miniature hermit energy. Sometimes when this is in reverse, people will treat that like the prodigal son returning, and it doesn't feel like that. It feels like the prodigal son leaving. It feels like by your leave, taking of separation, going your own way. Yeah, going your own way. Yeah, fate steps in somehow. There's something that you are going to do that's your own soul's path, your own soul's lesson. It's different than those that are around you, and that's okay. And this is something that you have to do. You have to pursue. And this is part of your soul contract. It's not anybody else's necessarily. Fate's stepping in, and this is changing for you. This happens in March. In April, you've got Seven of Pentacles, the fruits of labor coming in. And all of this labor, particularly here in December. Yeah, the fruits of labor coming in. Something that is inspired where you started putting your ducks in a row and it's starting paying off, and it starts yielding a return in January is even stronger, and you're going to be able to see the stacking aspect. It feels like the accumulation aspect that starts, we saw it in November particularly strong. It starts a new karmic cycle, and this is when you're stepping into it more fully. It would be like if somebody starts a business, but it takes a year or 2 years to get it off the ground, and by the time they're in their second year, it's like, oh yeah, this is really working. That's the analogy I'm getting. It's not the time frame I'm getting, but that's the analogy I can get right now that pulls through. Yeah, you've done a lot of planting and harvesting. You knew You knew already here in this May moment. You already know that you're starting something here. If the Queen of Pentacles were into canning and putting up food storage and, you know, prepping, there's a lot of people that do canning in Utah, let me tell you. If she were prepping, she would know exactly how many cans of peaches or pears or apples or whatever she has in her pantries. And it feels like this is what you're starting to do. You're knowing this as you go through this frugal time. You're putting your resource in a space that you can access it more fully later, and you will know exactly what you have. And the shelves will be heavy. I'm getting the food storage metaphor. The shelves will be heavy. So if this is you stacking your talents on the shelves, they're going to come in more and more and more, stronger and stronger and stronger. Your skills are going to be amplified, built upon, built upon, built upon. Heavy. Yeah. Full. Yeah. Heavy, full, rich, abundant. All of these words come through strongly here. Fruits of labor. It's like when this one's coming in, it's like the tree is almost weighed down by the weight of the apples on it. That's what I'm getting. Yeah. Yeah, this is great. Anything else she needs to know? This is a challenging year, but a great year. Celebrate yourself as you go forward. Do be mindful, frugal, and protect what is important for you energetically. What else comes through? Page of Wands. You're about ready to step into this new adventure. This is excitement going forward. You had all this wand energy over here. This page wants you to go exploring a little bit, a little deeper. Not just exploring a little bit or a little bit further. A little deeper is what you're supposed to be doing. That's complete. That was gorgeous. That was gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And not too many clarifiers are needed. I think you know quite well what I'm talking about here. So yeah, keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. Quest for your own grail. If you get detoured slightly, slightly is okay. If it feels more than slightly and it feels like somebody's dragging you, no, that's too much. So be aware of your energetic currency all through this next little time. Okay. Yeah, gorgeous. And this is the Good Fortune Tarot. And this is one of those that when I saw it, I didn't think I'd like it. And when I saw some of the actual cards, and this was a tarot shop in Salt Lake, and I saw some and was flipping through, I'm like, oh, these are pretty good. They feel good. They're highly recommend. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what I got on that. That was a good one. Did you record that, honey?
I did it.
Thank you. It's on the tube for you.
Stupid eye bag keeps slipping.
Hopefully you got, sometimes on the tube you'll see my head cut off or just cards. Usually it's a better shot and a better angle when my husband is with me doing the show. But if it's just me, you'll see kind of craziness, but yeah.
She says, awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey. You are so welcome.
All right. Next up is Krista. She would like a mini spirit-led and a pinch.
A mini spirit-led in a pinch. We're going to the Avalon Revelations deck. I should have gotten 2 of these. Oh, you asked about the Poe deck. Do you want me to show you the Poe?
Okay.
I'll show you the Poe later.
Okay.
Feels like holding this deck up to me. It's like, she asked about that earlier.
She said, please. So you'll show her later.
Show her later. Okay. Yes. We're going to go the Spirit-led mini for you. Yeah, we are going to go in the Australian 10 spread for this. If we need clarifiers, we'll go in with a different deck. I only have the one of this. I wasn't sure if I'd like it, and I really like it. Ah!
What, Ange?
That card is really dramatic. It really is. It's the 10 of Swords. So whatever is painful, you need to leave behind and move on. And it feels like whatever is the painful thing you have gone through, it is fairly complete. Now you got to pick yourself up and move on. Like Scarlett O'Hara says, tomorrow is another day. You just want to slap the bitch when she said that. You just want to slap her. I mean, I saw the whole damn thing and it's like, but tomorrow is another day.
She said, this tracks. LOL.
But tomorrow is another day. There is more sun. There will be more things coming. You got to let these swords go, some of them. All right. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Scarlet is very much a strong hero, but every once in a while borders into that martyry, sugary, bullshitty. And when you feel like your victim-y martyry is coming in a little strong instead of your be your own hero thing, you need to be aware of it. When you feel like you're being forced to be sweet, let that fucking go. Wouldn't hurt you to be a little more vinegar once in a while. Okay, what do we got? Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. This is the moon here. It doesn't mean that things are clear, but this comes in with such a strong feeling of high priestess. It's really great. I'm loving, loving, loving that. The justice card is coming in. This is to do with legals. This is to do with justice and karmic lessons. It doesn't mean you always get what you want or it all falls in your favor, which some people will put it in a reading if the justice card is close to something or they'll say, well, justice falls in your favor. Not always, but the scales are balancing, 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 and that's the trick. This is what you're being challenged by and what you're learning right now. The balance of justice, the karmic lesson that you would rather call the shots a certain way if you were running the world to go da 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 and run smooth, but there's a bonehead involved. Somehow this bonehead is fucking things up, screwing up your plan, screwing up what was supposed to go a certain way. It feels like this bonehead energy, whatever this is, it feels like it's creating a little bit of clunks, and you're like, how is this how it's supposed to go? Justice doesn't work. Trust the bigger picture. Sometimes we can't see it, but trust the bigger picture. There's karmic lessons coming in for you right now. Conscious and subconscious, what we're seeing here. 7 of Coins, fruits of labor. Subconscious, the Hermit. This is spiritual growth, dark night of the soul. This is what you're coming through here. It's why we feel it so strongly here. And it's why, even though this is moon, it feels high priestess. It's going to be revealed and revealed and revealed. Not all at once, little by little. Revealed and revealed, little at a time. This is gorgeous. Why didn't I order 2 of these decks? What was I thinking? This is gorgeous.
That also tracks.
3 of Wands. Recent past. Waiting patiently for the ships to come in. Show her this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that sky. It's something about the horizon and looking towards the horizon and being patient that is going on here. And the colors of the sky, for whatever reason, you're seeing more vividness in the sky in the end of the day. This sunset, not sunrise, sunset is what it feels like. This is something when you're bookending your day and it's making sense and you're getting a little bit of still time in there that is good. Don't know what that's about. Continue doing that. Be patient right now. Be patient. You're going to need to wait a little bit. 9 of Pentacles, independent woman, very, very strong, luxurious in the garden, sitting pretty. This is what's coming towards you in the near future, but it's going to take a little bit of time. What's going on here in the here and now? You feel like you're carrying the burden, and maybe you feel like you're carrying other people's sticks too. So do it smartly, work smartly, set down what isn't yours, delegate if you can, and it will help, but it doesn't have to be all carried all at once, all the time. And whatever is the burden can be relieved somewhat. You can set some of it down. I don't feel like whatever this is, that's the burden that you're attaching to, all can be set down at once. It doesn't feel like that. You can't set the whole thing down, but it can be made a little bit easier, a little bit more strategic in how you carry things through. The Tower energy is still around. It's like something went off the rails, a little haywire, whatever you were building went kaplooey. This is the plot twist. This is Cosmic Wrecking Ball, the beautiful disaster. And it feels like you're still in kick the rubble stages. But this has already fallen. This has already happened. Whatever this tower is, this just is, you have to move on. This is like, you have to move on from something. You have to let go of something that you're carrying, and only you can let it go. And it just doesn't have to be the end of the world. Tomorrow is another day, Scarlet. Yeah. Hopes and fears. The 10 of Pentacles. When will it work out? How is it going to work out? What is the legacy you're leaving behind? You focus very much on getting it right so people will see what you've done and not necessarily think well of you in the image way, but you want to set a good example. If something were to happen to take you off planet tomorrow, you would want your legacy and what you've done to reflect well. And you have had breakthroughs. You do this naturally. Your legacy is already set in place. You've already done things so well that you don't have to worry about this quite so much. This sometimes comes through also if there's a literal inheritance or a windfall of money sometimes, but this feels like legacy, legacy, legacy. You think about this all the time. It almost becomes heavy. You worry too much about if you're going to influence everyone that comes in your realm of influence in a way that's uplifting and high vibe and be a good example all the time. And some of that is a little bit too much pressure. You've already done the breakthrough, breakthrough, breakthrough. Now you need to follow intuition a little bit more strongly. My gosh, this is a gorgeous deck. Absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I love this deck. To thine own self be true, and you're going to be doing just fine. Now, is there anything else she needs to know?
She said, wow, yeah, I really, truly do.
To thine own self be true, and this is a time I've told a lot of people that people are experiencing the Tower, and then also Temperance is coming in strongly as collective cards of the year. And I've seen it among other readers where they're seeing towers, towers, towers. And if you've passed this Tower, and I feel like you have, then the Temperance, this is now to the point where you're transmuting. You're doing more than just the magician type of work. You're transmuting. So you're taking something that may have been a difficult lesson, a painful lesson, or this is where something that is considered a liability somehow now is shifting into being an asset. This is you transmuting, transmuting, transmuting. I'm loving this energy for you. What do you need to know about others around you going forward? We're going to take a look at this. I just want to know in a few cards, given all this, what do you need to know about others around you right now? They're indecisive, having trouble making choices, and you can't necessarily help them, but you can help them maybe remove the blindfold. You can help someone remove the blindfold and look at it logically and use their emotions to their advantage so one doesn't overpower the other, so they can get out of the stalemate. You can help them get to the point of action without making the decision for them. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but that's what I'm getting. Queen of Pentacles is coming through in a strong, strong way and helping them see the choices and get their head out of the clouds. Now this one's a great, will you show this one? This is great, Seven of Cups, because it almost looks like childlike wonder and which do I choose, what do I choose, what do I choose? This is that window shopper card where somebody might procrastinate instead of taking action. You can help them figure out, okay, these choices are here, but now what do you want to do? You're helping get someone out of stalemate, and I don't know what that's about, but you are seen as the one that has the know-how and the wisdom and the authority, not just the resources, but the experience under your belt to help act as a little bit of guidance for this other. And it's not like you're going to say, hey, buddy, you need to pull your head out, but they kind of need to do that. And they will come to you for a little bit of guidance or counsel. You're going to be helping someone with this decision making because you don't have to make the decision. You just have to help them see that there are decisions. There are options. There are choices. The Lover's card comes through. There are choices. You're following your own heart's desire and doing it in such a way that it is leading by example, whether you know it or not. So the pressure doesn't have to be there and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's very empowering when somebody meets up with you one-on-one or sits down to lunch with you or have a moment with you where they have a conversation. I'm considering this. I'm considering this. You will ask probing questions that helps them make the decision that follows their heart's path a little better. And that's a great gift to have, to be able to listen and help extract the information from themselves. That's what feels like is going on. Anything else she needs to know for herself? 3 above, 3 in the conscious and the above for her. Okay. You know what this card is. It says death. It's death, and this is the butterfly card. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. You're getting some crone energy coming through on that in a big way. The High Priestess, the crone thing, this is coming through in layers that are really beautiful for you. The next 2 months are going to be quite the thing. It's like you are preparing. This one usually is about speed and launching, 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 and putting your ducks in a row. And it feels like you're preparing different layers of crone energy and crone wisdom and allowing that to come through. You're not getting enough sleep. You need to get sleep, and you need to watch for what's coming through in your dream space. So know when you put yourself to bed and you're like, okay, I need a good night's sleep. If you need to, you know, have a hot toddy or a Benadryl or whatever and sleep, know that you need to do that, and you're not available for psychic dreams. You need to put that out there when you are available and when you're not. If that means you play music in the background as you drift for one influence or the other, you need to be aware. Be more vigilant about what you're doing before you sleep, and be more aware as to when you want psychic dreams and awakenings to come in, when you want to travel the astral or don't. If you've inadvertently traveled the astral and you need it to take a break for a little while, you need to put it out there to your guides. I need a break from this. I don't need all the monsters out of the closets at once and making sense of it or disrupting my dreams and my sleep. So this is something you need to be aware of, that you can seal that space, make sacred that space before you sleep.
But crone has been calling me.
Yeah.
And totally understand what you're talking about, the sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. The crone is calling, but if it's overwhelming, if you need, just like sometimes we need to turn off the TV or turn off our devices, sometimes we need to turn off the astral or the extra and have time to process or just be in our human self for a little while. So you are the one that's in charge of the remote control for this, all right? Okay. That's complete. That's complete. Now, did you want me to show her the Poe deck?
She got a pinch.
Oh, she got a pinch. Okay. All right. Honey, will you write this one down?
What?
Just write Avalon. I need to order a second one of this. I love this deck. It's gorgeous. This is one of the most expensive decks I've ever ordered from the Temu shop. And it's gorgeous.
I'm starting to understand how I can come in and out of astral.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah, start figuring that this is a switch that you can decide. It's not like our guides are going to want to interfere or make things more difficult for us. So if you need some human time to process it, they understand that we're doing this human experience and it's high level challenge. So if you're getting too flooded, you need to do things that are very, very grounding to get your, where's my ass? What am I smelling? What am I seeing? What's literally right in front of my face? These kind of things to get yourself grounded helps. Okay, the pinch. The pinch with a new charge in it. Now this ought to be interesting. All right, this pinch is coming in as in the next 6 weeks. What's kind of rando? It's coming in very, very rando, and it's coming in for a 6-week span. So let's be aware. All right, very, very rando. Don't go stirring up the shit when you don't need to. You don't typically do this. You don't typically do this, but don't go stirring up the shit when you don't need to. And you know, I don't know how to call them other than the shit stirrers. You know who they are. The ones that make trouble just to make trouble. Make drama just to make drama. And it's not just drama because they're interesting and bored. They're literally trying to get other people to argue or fight or conflict. There's people around you that will be doing that. So be aware. Don't go stir up extra emotions or give extra emotions to these people. Okay. All right, what do we got here? Line, line, line. Okay. There's something that is something about the holidays past. This wreath is coming in. This is the Christmas wreath, and this is years past. It's almost like Christmas Carol coming in, and you know how the ghosts of the past come in, come in, come in, come in. There's something that it's cleared from the past, and it's echoing, and I tell you, it's a 6-week period of time. This is the furthest out of that. This feels like 2 to 3 weeks. This feels like 2 to 3 weeks, and this feels like sidebar. Ghosts of Christmas past, ghosts of nostalgia past, ghosts of traditions past doesn't need to be there. The victory needs to be a little bit different. What's going on the family tree, and why are you the wise old owl? Now this one is a new one. This charm, can they see that really well? This is a newer one. And the reason this one made the collection isn't because we didn't have a bird on a branch. It's because it reminds me of Felix the cat, but in a bird form. If a cat could be up the tree and on the branch. This is the bird form. It's Felix. And the Felix the cat, the old clocks, they would look side to side, side to side, side to side, side to side. Yeah, you're comparing future, past, future, past, future, past. And it's like, okay, take the wisdom out of that, but get a little bit more focused if you want to move forward. And then this one coming through. This is also a near one. And this is a deer. This one, very much, this is take it to the simple things. This isn't about the Bambi lessons and being completely naive, but this is take it to the beginning. Start at the very beginning. Doe a deer. Yeah, very, very. Start at the beginning of something. And you can be wide-eyed without being overly naive. You can look for the good in the world and in others and in people and still recognize that, yeah, the world can be harsh and ugly and crazy place, but you need to focus and keep your direction on what leads you forward, going towards the good, okay? That's what's going on here. And it is like you're doing some kind of comparison. If I do that with my eyes, it's going to make me crazy. But the Felix the cat clock, you know what that is about. You'll see it.
She loved that cartoon.
Yeah, you'll know. But there's echoes of the past that need to be let go. So they just, if it's a quick glance, let go and focus more towards future. We've got the lavender butterfly going on here. The Paris indicator, and this is the Eiffel Tower indicates big travel, and then crossing over, and this is leaving a burden behind. This is something that can be a painful thing to leave behind in order to move towards your future, in order to dream again towards the future. Now this Eiffel Tower, it actually even stands up. But there's Paris here, and then there's like, isn't there a Paris, Idaho, or some kind of Paris, some other state in the States? There's travel involved
Texas.
here. But there's something else built up, and this tower, we saw a recent tower. This tower people go to visit. This tower is something that's an edifice that stands strong, that's worth building again, worth traveling to, and worth building new. This doesn't feel like the Tower Tarot card. It feels like the tower is in your future, something that you want to build. An edifice is what I'm getting. Something structurally that you're going to be building as you go forward. And this burden and this crossing over, it does feel like leaving past behind and stepping into your own future. Leaving these ghosts behind, stepping into your own future. Allowing the death, the whatever it was, the old, to be transmuted, transformed, reborn. Allowing the butterfly to move forward. This is what's going on here. This is third eye and crown opening up, both of these, wanting to open, but they're also going to be mixing here. What you're seeing, it's, yeah, It feels a little bit like you'll get a little bit of déjà vu. It may not be exactly deja vu where it's exactly 1,000% accurate, but this is clear knowing and things coming in. It feels like déjà vu. This is what's going on. That's what's going on for you. It feels like this is a 3-week span of time. This is a 3-week span of time. Now it could be 2 to 3 weeks. Either way, slide it forward. We put the 6-week assertion over this. And you've seen when I've done charms reads and they've come in way, 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 way more. Sometimes they're all crazy, but this came in almost in a direct line, and this came in almost in a direct line, and this was on its own. What's the gift you get out of this? You get to let go of this, baby. You get to let go. That was in the previous reading. It was very, very clear there. You saw, what are the odds? The cards are telling you something, and it's pretty clear for you. It's a gift when you move past this pain. It's a gift when you let some of this go.
Cannot make this up.
No, you cannot make this up at all. Yeah, that's what I got for you, sweetie. Good luck, and you're doing just fine. Keep at it, keep at it. And the Felix thing that you find yourself doing, don't do that too much. You make yourself dizzy, crash into a wall, that kind of shit. Queen of Coins also coming up just before we're going. Queen of Coins, we saw come up. Before we know this is what this is about, you know this. Honor your worth, honor your value. You know what it is. All right. That's complete. Yeah, that's great. That is really, really great. Okay. All right, that's what we got on that. I can't believe, I thought that I was done with this order, but I'm going to have to order. Oh, Phyllis could be like, Andrew,
Kim
you don't
already
need more
put Phil,
cards?
start ordering.
That one, that's the only place I've seen it is on the Temu shop, and it's called Avalon Revelation. It's a beautiful deck. I had no idea it was going to feel that good in my hands, feel that good in what was going on.
Krista put, she knows her worth.
Yeah.
And love you. This was so beautiful, and I totally needed to hear it.
Yeah, it's going to get layered and layered and layered on you. So when I tell people know your worth, it doesn't mean that you don't. It means that perhaps there will be something that challenges it, and it's just remember. Maybe remember is the better
All
word
the
for
states
to
with a
use.
Paris.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Arkansas, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Maine, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, and Wisconsin. So you can go traveling anywhere.
Pennsylvania, Krista. Pennsylvania.
Yeah, yeah. Holy cow. Very, very interesting. All right, now the Poe deck. This one was a surprise for me. I'll show you some of it. It looks really, some of it looks fine. And then other parts of it look super creepy. This is a good example of the creepy.
Aaron, I'm going to need your question when you get a chance,
And
please.
this one, I got it because it's Poe and it's kind of Halloween-y and all of that. But it does surprisingly good love reads when I was doing this. And I was like, what? Like, some of them, don't take that one off the desk because I don't want to get banned for that. And I haven't Sharpied all the cards. But yeah, it's like, some of it is like just a little bit crazy. It's an interesting one. You wouldn't expect. Now, does that mean that it's going to be a great deck for love reads for everyone? Probably not. But is it something, maybe I'm just a little more creepy than I realize. I don't know. There's more. This is one of the creepiest 10 of Wands I've ever seen. It's like yeah, that's how we feel when we're carrying too much of burdens, too much of somebody else's shit. Yeah, so this is like an interesting deck. If it's not in your collection, it certainly is a fun one. Not that everybody needs to have this. If they don't like it, don't get it. If you don't like a deck, wait a little while. Maybe you'll get it later and it'll be like you love it. But yeah. So that's what I got.
Ladora's here. She put, hello from the Cracklin' Oat Brand Girl.
Oh, hi. Yeah, if you go comment on my tube page, I think I labeled that show Cracklin' Oat. It was in the label of the show. Sometimes it's just the date on the tube, but if you go, yeah, it'll be there. And if you've commented already, thank you, thank you. I can't keep track of everything that's always going on with those. And I think I saw something on there the other day, but hey there, Dora, Cracklin' Oat girl. Love it, love it, love it. That's hilarious. Yeah, I was telling my sister about that. Like, it's like, you know, sometimes I feel like the idiot savant of tarot. Other things I work with, and when the guides come through that are more personal to me, it's like a little bit more serious, a little bit more even-tempered. But sometimes on this, these idiosyncratic, weird, off-the-wall nuttiness that comes through, it's like, just let it through. Whatever message, just let it come through. If that's the only lesson I give you guys with all of these readings, trust your intuition and let it flow through. Because if you try and get in the way of it, It's going to come through anyway. All right, I'm getting some water. What's next, baby?
Okie doke. Yeah, Lauren already paid. Erin already paid, sorry. Erin is up next, and she has a full read. What is happening with work? Things haven't been going my way.
Erin, what is happening with work? Things haven't been going your way. Let's put this over here.
Steph, you're on deck.
What is happening with work? What kind of read are we doing here?
It's a full read.
Sorry, I was not asking you. I asked him directly. I was talking to myself out loud. Sorry, guys. What kind of read are we doing? I'm wondering what spread. I think we're doing the X spread for you in the Gregory Scott Tarot. But that was definitely me talking out loud. What kind of read are we doing here? Erin's work, full read. That was said and that was stated. I want the X spread. What's going on in the center of this X? We're going to go this way and this way. And what's going on in the center is going to be huge. It feels like right off the jump, and we'll look and see if the cards are going to show us this a little bit more deeply, but it feels like, you know, when somebody gets a lateral promotion that isn't a promotion at all and it's just a lot more work, or they're putting a lot more responsibility on your plate but not paying you and giving you a raise for it. That's what it feels like, and that's all coming off this Four of Swords and the Eight of Coins. You need to be able to rest and take care of yourself and put better boundaries and better clarifying stuff, because they are overloading. And this is what it feels like is going on. Past, future, unknown, subconscious, conscious. Okay? Okay. We're seeing High Priestess. You know what you need to do. There are things that are hidden. There are things that they have not been clear about. And sometimes they've been a little deceptive about it. Not always does she come through with deception on it. But this one is coming through with shades of the moon a little strongly. There's something that's been hidden. And somebody is operating not in good faith, and I don't know what that's about, but that's what it feels like. You are remembering a happier time, a time that was more fulfilling. You are remembering a time when the job was new, exciting, and great, and it feels like you're sick of the nonsense. You're seeing somebody ego laden, ego heavy, keeps things stuck. Selfish is the correct word. Selfish and egoic that keeps others stuck. So it's like they pitched one thing that is growth for everyone, room for growth, room for expansion, but they really want to be cheapskate. This is coming through in the reversed energy. It's feeling like they want everybody else to do the work and they want the accolades. Don't know what that's about. You're seeing that now. It's not satisfying for you anymore. The stuck has to stop. The Lover's card is here, the Hanged Man here, and the Death card. The stuck has to stop. Something has to transform. This is the walking away from something that's not fulfilling. The choice to transform it. If you want to transform this, it does. Jesus. It feels like one of the higher ups, management, boss men, whatever boss people needs called out on this shit. So if they are giving you the lateral promotion responsibilities without the lateral pay increase, it's like you need to call it out. And if they presented and misrepresented, you need to call it out in a way that you don't get yourself shit-canned or fired. But you know what's going on. You know the worth. If they said this is what the expectation is for your job, say your job is to make 10 widgets a day, and they suddenly have you making 40 widgets a day because you're going to be in charge of our extra sensational widget department. And you're like, that's not it. That ain't it. I was hired for 10 widgets a day. You want me making 30 more and you're not paying me to do 4 times the work? Are you kidding me? Yeah. You need to have a conversation. You may need to, if they can't figure out how to operate more in good faith and more honestly, it might be something that you shift is not just the lateral promotion, but shift entirely. Let's see what's coming up in these cards.
She put wow, spot on.
Yeah, it's what it feels like. It feels like overworked and underpaid. I see the old nurse's uniform in white, and they might have the funny nurse's hat with a red cross across there. That's what's coming through visually. Overworked and underpaid nurses. Working, and the doctors look good. That kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, future going on. Future. Subconscious, conscious, subconscious. Yeah. Subconsciously you're grieving that somebody's been just a little bit of a jerk. There's been more loss And you need to pivot to see what is going to be the perfect pairing, perfect partnering, the good thing for you. This is what's coming up. 5 of Wands. Too many competing things, too much conflict, too many chefs in the kitchen, and not enough cooks. So if you're in charge of something, they need to let you be in charge of it. If they want you to be in charge of more and take more responsibility, they need to acknowledge it and make the pay adjustment as appropriate. Chariot, moving on, moving forward. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles. This is actually the 6 of Pentacles. Why is the 5 coming through so strongly to me? Chariot, moving on. This was here. 5 of Pentacles is leaving the church, separation. I think you need to let them know. Don't let them know unless you are really, really ready to back that play. But your mind is like, do I want to stay with this job? Or tell them, you know, see you later, Gator. Because this is giving and receiving, and it needs to be in balance, and it's not. And you don't need to hold your head out for the crumbs. You're not the beggar girl. That's why the 5 is coming in. Poor little match girl sometimes comes in with the 5 when there's poverty and lack. It feels like they're paying, but they're doling out just enough. If you want momentum, if you want to move forward, you're going to need to be a little bit clear about this. Subconsciously, you already know this. You're trying to formulate, how do you actually have this conversation without pissing off the higher ups or the boss or whatever, but getting what's rightfully and really, truly what should be more deserving to do what it is that you're doing. Consciously, okay, yeah, you can show these. This is a Gregory Scott deck. Consciously, we've got the Queen of Swords. She knows the truth. She suffers no fools, and she knows exactly what parts. In this deck, she's shown pruning. So cutting off whatever it is that's the good bloom, she's shown cutting that. She suffers no fools, this one.
Love the company, but my boss promoted someone over me.
Yeah. You're going to figure this out. You're trying to figure out the balance, and you're trying to figure out if you want to go. These cards are indicating that you want to go. You've put in the work. You need to really analyze this before you make steps. But I wouldn't be surprised if the boss promoted somebody over you and you're considering going, you don't want to tell them, you know, either pay up or I'm out of here unless you have a good backup plan. But then in making the backup plan, they might need to call for references or referrals. And it's like, okay, this is a little bit tricky. You're going to have to be careful. This Queen of Swords is what's here coming in. But I'm telling you, she feels like Queen of Coins too, coming in, knowing her worth, knowing what her work has been stacked as. This is important. King of Coins is over here. Making the strategy. Do it in a way that is balanced. This is figuring out gas and groceries. This is like, for a little while, this discomfort is going to linger. This is like when you have to budget. Do I put, you know, $10 in my gas tank or in my groceries? What do I need to do? It feels like you have enough, but not as much of abundance. It's a little bit trying to stretch the dollar, trying to stretch the coins, trying to stretch the resources. The struggle in the juggle. It's not that you don't have anything, but there is juggling that needs to be done. And you need to get the clarity first. This is why the rest is important here. You need to get the clarity first. The Magician's here. You have all the skills. You'll figure it out. You'll survive whatever it is that you choose to do. But you need to figure out what it is that you want first. The Magician's here. And then the King of Coins. I want to look in the second deck for clarification. Now these decks, they somehow did the bottoms different, so I wrote all over them. So it would be easier to see when my glasses didn't have bifocals. And now I have the bifocals, and it's like, okay, much better, but all right. I want clarity on these two, because there's something coming in, and it feels like it's trying to come in right here. Which means this is something you're going to be aware of subconsciously. It's trying to work its way forward, and it's coming in, and I'm getting this was within the next 2 or 3 weeks, the clarity is coming. You don't have to make a decision right now, is what I'm telling you. You don't have to make the decision right now. It's going to be at least 2 weeks before you're able to make this decision. And it might not be just you that's feeling a little bit weird or stuck about this. There's big astrology going on in the world. And it might be others around you or others in play in the situation also are trying to figure this out. I'm telling you, don't tell them to fuck off just yet. Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks is coming through pretty strongly. What's going on right here? It's like somebody's going to get a really rude awakening. The 7 of Cups, you look for your choices, look for your options. Consider your options so you know if you want to break free that you can. Consider your options, know your worth, know your value, all of that. But don't procrastinate forever, and don't be pie in the sky. Be real. Get fucking real, be grounded about this. Because somebody's going to have the bolt upright, rude awakening. This is kind of the nightmare anxiety, and it's coming through like, boom. It feels like the mini of the tower. It feels like the bolt out of the blue. That's what it feels like is coming through. The truth will wake them up. And then celebration. The cups are here. So the magic is here. Whatever this is that you're bringing that is of value, you need to remind them. The magic is here. You need to remind them and at least remind yourself beforehand. Then the King of Coins, all the money, all the money, all the money. Now I asked what's at this junction. I didn't ask what's at this junction. Let's look there. Scooch this over. Scooching it over. Need more room, running out of real estate on my desk here. Same deck, third deck, okay? What's going in on this? This feels like it's going the 2 to 3 weeks. If we're going more towards the 3 weeks and leaning in more towards the 3 weeks, possibly a month. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that feels right. Oh my God. Okay. You need to be moderate in this. You have this juggling and this trying to balance here that's coming in on this. You have temperance coming in here. And look at what the guards did. That, like, this, again, is why I have duplicate decks. But you cannot make this shit up. The root awakening is happening on both ends. It's not just you awakening to something and knowing something. They are too. And you are waking up to your own power. And then you're going to set up rules and you're going to be the emperor. You're going to set up things on your own terms. And by the time that you're in the 3 weeks to a month, it is going to be either on your own terms or you will walk. Don't walk just yet. There is balance. There could be something you create. And this is very much you needing to be celebrated or lifted and acknowledged. Don't be where you're tolerated. Be where you're celebrated. Put the rules on your own terms. Be temperate. Be balanced. Know what you're transmuting. Know what you're changing. Here's the magician and here's the temperance. They both know how to create the magic. They both know how to move the flow through. And this is the struggle to juggle. This is about balance, balance, balance. Transmuting. Transmuting doesn't happen overnight. This kind of magic change doesn't happen overnight. Not within you, not within your work situation. Yeah. Do not tell them to fuck off just yet. If you want to tell them that, you want to be really, really ready before you make that big of a change. And you really, 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 if you're going to present it like if you were presenting a legal case, you would want your ducks in a row and know exactly what you wanted to say to be clearly understood, articulately understood, and there no quibbling. So you don't go in negotiating, please, please hand me a dime. No, if you're going to go in and say I'm worth more money, you don't, please, please, I'm the Becker girl. You know exactly what your worth is. So be very, very prepared to represent and be strongly supported. All right, that's complete. That's amazing. Yeah. This feels like 2 weeks-ish from now you're getting the boom. Yeah. Anything else? No, that's complete. That's complete. Yeah, you are in this situation. Take really good care of yourself and keep doing the work that comes second nature to you in a high quality kind of way. But get your rest. Take care of yourself. All right, that's complete.
Woo.
And that was the X spread with just a little bit of bonus fillers because I needed to see it. And if I were in your shoes, I would want to know it. So that's where it led. And this is the Gregory Scott Tarot. So yeah. Holy moly. Yeah. Don't tell off your boss just yet. That's the gist of it. And it does feel like this change is necessary and that it's coming.
Krista put dot the I's, cross the T's.
Yeah. And be clear about what it is you want. You might have to write your way through. You know, some people can't find their way out of a paper bag. And sometimes we're that way ourselves when we're overthinking. You might need to write your way through what you want to see happening. And it's not that you're going to send that page or that journal page or that list to anyone. But it's going to clarify in your own mind what do you really want and what do you really need.
I'll be on PTO and work from home for 2 weeks. It'll be a reality check.
Yes. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No wonder. Sometimes you guys will give me feedback like that and it's like, I don't know. You guys give me like a limited information on the question and I bring through what brings through. But yeah. Okay. Well, good luck on that. Yes, it will be a reality check. That 9 of Swords. Yeah. Good luck on that, honey. Good luck. Oh, I'm excited for you. Yeah, I know. What? Yeah, you're excited for that? Yeah. Because if it works out and it's really quite good for you, it could be fabulous. You'll know. When you're in the thick of it, you'll know. So, yeah. Oh, my God. Okay. That's great. That's great.
To 3 weeks of no me in the office after almost 4 years.
Okay. thank you for sharing that. That's just nice to hear and nice to know. Because sometimes when I see this, I just have this thimble full of information. You guys give me feedback on that, and it's like just confirmation to me as the reader. Like, yeah, okay. Now that click, click, click dials in, boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Kim put, I miss work from home. She would love to go back to it. Or hope she can go back to it.
Yeah, and sometimes working from home is a great thing, and other times it's like, then do you get any rest at home? So sometimes you need your office to be separate from your workspace, and so yeah, good luck on that. It's challenging.
Okay, we have one on the list. We have Steph, our Steph. And also, our list is going to close here in about 20 minutes because of our lunch with our son.
Yes.
So
yes.
if you'd like to get on, you still got a few minutes to get on the list. We have the Blind Oracle. We have the Year Ahead. We have the One Question Tarot Reads, Mini and the Full, and the Specialty Reads. And those are the apps.
Okay, before we get into our Steph's question, I wanted to show her this deck that I got. This is one of the newer decks that I got. It's called the Shuffle. And I don't know if you've seen it, but they move all the characters in the tarot. It's not a good learning deck, guys. They move the characters in the tarot around differently.
Okay. Erin said thank you.
You're welcome, honey. You are so, so welcome. So welcome. So, Steph, check this out. Let me see if I can fan this. This is the Hermit. You know the Hermit doesn't usually look like this. Here's the Hierophant. Here's the World. This is called the Shuffle. This is a fun one to put in the collection. It's a fun one to wonder why they've moved certain characters in certain places, like the Empress shows up in a few unusual spaces. It's just like a screwball one. The Tower, I'm not sure what they're doing with the Tower that's exactly different. Like, it's got the crown of what looks like the Hierophant for the crown of the Tower coming off. It looks very different in that way. Then if you have the Empress here, this is like, the Empress ain't here. It's like just bonkers. The Four of Wands looks more like the Four of Cups. It's called the Shuffle. It will screw with your brain if you're trying to learn tarot. Do not get this deck. If you know your tarot, and Stephanie knows her tarot, it's a curiosity. It's fun and kind of a hippie trippy.
She said, oh, the Shuffle sounds interesting, and okay, I like that.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Okay, this was the Temperance, and I'll try and cover the peachy cheek. Cover the peachy cheeks so we. It's like the star sky clad, but she's standing in the Temperance, but you can kind of get the drift. Okay, take it down so I don't get busted. Yeah. Justice and Strength, they did a good job on this. And then they have, is there anything else that stood out right away? The Lovers are coming in as the Judgment card. And you can see this, it says the Lovers below. Be careful on this one too. But you can see the Angel of Judgment above there. Then on the Judgment card, they put the Devil over the top of the Judgment. So it's just wacko. Very fun. Very super fun. A little bit cray-cray. But good. But I thought you might appreciate that. And so that one is not for class. Maybe it raises some good questions. Not for beginning tarot. But definitely a fun one to throw in the mix. So anyway.
She put so fun.
Yeah. Super fun. Okay. Now we'll go to her question.
Christopher said it's one of those channel all the way. LOL.
Yeah. 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 It is one of those channel all the way for sure. Okay.
Okay. Steph wants a pinch.
Oh. Well. Steph for a pinch. I got new charms in here, Steph. We're getting kneading the bread dough coming in. This gesture is coming in, but it's coming in pinch, but it's more like it's kneading the bread dough. What are you making from scratch? And what is coming through it in the ways of the ancestors, the grandmothers on the domestic front? This is interesting. Okay. What do we got here? Whoa! We've got the Salamander. Now you're going to see a lot of new charms. Your witchy woo self is coming in very, very strong. The Salamander, this is coming in. King of Wands in his right self, taking the lead, and coming in as you, taking the strong lead as the leadership role. So where you're inspired to go, let people follow. The Salamander is coming in. Able to adapt to two worlds, also coming in when you see the Salamander, or think of fire newts, or think of amphibious creatures, water and land. Both worlds are coming in pretty strongly. Coming in next, and this is down the pike. This is confusion and chaos. This is more immediate time frame. Your witchy woo definitely needs honored. You're a wascally wabbit. Now these are all new. So this one comes through. I don't know if you can see this one. Can they see this one pretty good? Let me see if I can put that. This one comes through. You are the wascally wabbit. the witchy woo is coming through. And when I say Wascally Wabbit, it's definitely very Bugs Bunny kind of reference. That I don't think cartoon is even allowed on TV anymore. But you are the one that figures out the clever solutions. Bugs was always going to the Acme company and outsmarting and smart-assing things around. Like the Roadrunner would go to the Acme company and get the thing that would foil the Coyote's plan. This is what you need to be. You need to be wily, clever, a little bit of a sassafras. You need to be a Wascally Wabbit. This is what's coming through. I don't know why, and I can't say it other than that. With that charm, I couldn't. When I saw it, I'm like, I know I'm going to have to say that, but okay. This is coming through and it needs to be felt. Now this charm I almost didn't put in. There's another bat in here, but this one needs to be felt. The weight of the witch and the power of the witchy woo needs to be felt, and the bats are so nocturnal. There is something that goes into the night energies for you that needs to be felt, and this is when you are more tapped in, even though you might be exhausted. This is what's coming through. And this one's coming in. You already know this shit, but I'm referencing it for you because the charms brought it out. Margarita time in practical magic. That needs to happen a little bit more. And it doesn't mean that you need to be like super, super inebriated, but you need the time where you can shed the stress of the day that weighs heavily and let your magic and the joyfulness come through. The relax that comes through when Jet comes back to the girls in that story, to the Owen sisters. The margaritas that they make, it's like pretty fun. Yeah, the relax needs to be there, and the wisdom, and I'm getting Jet specifically. Now there is a plane, and if it would have come up, I would have seen travel. But I'm getting Jet, and I think that's her name, Aunt Jet. I don't know if it seems like that's. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting, and the margarita time. That's what's coming in, and then the chaos coming up. You're very, very wide-eyed about the change ahead that needs to happen. The dragonfly's coming through with almost as equal weight as the bat coming through here. Transformation, lighterness. This is, your wings are really growing, changing, hardening. Yeah, the transformation is happening and being wide-eyed. Now this is you steering your own ship where you need to go, being the captain, choosing your own direction. Here we have the angel and the higher self coming in. This one reminds me of the judgment card. The angel blowing a trumpet, but in this one she's also lifting the arm up, and this, it's where the charm would be attached to the bracelet, but it almost looks like she's holding a celebration wreath by the same token. So it's like this is something that needs to be you celebrating you and your higher self, and it needs to be done where you choose the direction. There is not going to be clarity just yet about family and what the family is supposed to do. There's something again referencing the fire here. You've got the dragon coming in. This is a newer one also. The dragon comes in. Full standing dragon. Full standing dragon. Understand who you are to be. Understand who you already are. Understand that it is already there. Do not dismiss yourself as just the lonely little newt or just the small little newt when you are actually dragon. This is why big crone energy comes in. You're not in this space where you're the young Owens girl anymore. You're every bit as powerful as Aunt Jet. You're every bit as powerful as the crone. You're every bit as wascally and wily as you need to be. You will get clarity on what your family needs and what needs to go forward. You need to trust your own intuition and your own instinct, not your fear, not your emotion, not just the desire for something to be different. The clarity is coming when you stand like the dragon.
We have decided to wait a year before we move. Things are uncertain in how the move happens.
Yeah, I'd let go of the hows and I'd get back into this present moment a little bit more clearly. Understand that when the move and transition comes, it will be quick. It will be what you need it to be, and the ducks will be lined up. They aren't lined up now, and it doesn't mean that you are being thwarted. You are just practicing dragon stance. When you know your dragon, you operate like that. You don't operate like a little fire newt. You're able to operate both worlds. This is going to only make sense in the context of Utah. You're able to operate in Happy Valley if you need to, but you're able to operate in the rough and tumble zones a little easier too. You don't have to be stuck in a box. You can tolerate the in-the-box thinkers. You can tolerate, put up with, and navigate the narrow set, even though it feels confining, without losing who you are. And the balance will be there a little bit more than you realize. if that makes
Absolutely,
sense.
absolutely on point. Was thinking about dragons right before I went to sleep last night.
Yeah, the dragon energy is something you need to summon over and over and over. You have more of it in you than you realize. But yeah, you have connections to dragons that is huge. And dragons always have a little bit of a hoard, so start working on your hoard. I'm not saying save everything and don't do your spring cleaning. Do your spring cleaning. But start piling money in your hoard. Start saving your coins for the oh shit, or for just to have your hoard. The dragons have their treasures. You don't have to get rid of everything just because you're moving. Not when in doubt, throw it out. Just, is it bringing value to your hoard? Is it adding to this? And also start saving. Those two things, two ideas, two concepts also in this. This is what's going on. The wide-eyed, and when the change is here and the wings are hard enough, they'll be ready. That's what I've got. Yeah. Just think Jet. Just, if you go back to that movie again, think Jet and Aunt Jet.
Jet and Francis.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Krista put that.
I don't know if I've got the wrong one, but think Jet. But I don't know which one's Jet and which one's Francis now. The visual that came to mind is Stockard Channing's face. Not is it Diane that did Francis? I don't know. Anyway, you know, that's complete. That's what's going on. Okay. Yeah, exciting stuff. Exciting. So, yay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's super good. Super good. All right. Good. Yeah.
Krista put Stockard Channing's is Jet, and
That's who's
Diane
coming through.
Weist is Francis.
Yeah, it's Stockard Channing Jet that was coming through. Yeah. I think you have attributes of Francis as well, but what's being asked to be engaged? Yeah, there she is. Show her. Yeah.
Well, watch it.
You know.
Copyright.
Quick flash. Yeah, you'll know. So, okay, yeah, I don't want to infringe. All right.
Steph put love her.
Yeah, love her. Love her to death. All right. Good.
I think we're all done, Ange. Want to do a collective?
Yes, let's do a collective.
Do that, the, what you call it, holograph.
Okay, this one is called the Shuffle, not the the Shuttle with T's, shuttles. This one is Shuffle, like shuffling and they're out of order. This one is Shuttle with 2 T's. And it is super holographic. Show them some just for a minute while I show them these 3 and I'll shuffle the rest, because these are pretty much fresh out of the box and I haven't had enough shuffle time where literally I'm mixing the cards. But this is the Shuttle Mirror deck. And it is so highly reflective, it's almost holographic. Okay. Let's throw this one in. Here, you can show them that one. Throw this one back in somewhere else. Do a shuffle or 2, and then we'll see what the collective is coming through with this. And I'm getting something that is totally not in here, but I'm getting this, looking at this, and then I'm getting the Lemuria, and I'm getting Atlantis Rising type of energy. Don't know what that's about. Or why that was coming through in such a way, but yeah. Let me give this a few more shuffles. They make me seem like the world's best shuffler. I mean, come on. We know that isn't all, Ange. This is the flexibility and bend of these cards is just butter. All right. Let's get in the cards. What does the collective need to know? Love it. Oh my gosh. You guys, we just need to love the gorgeous queens that we are. Aunt Jet doesn't try and be like anybody else. We need to love the queens that we are. We have the 9 of Cups, having our wish and our creative self coming through. The artist, Steph, that card, if that doesn't scream to you, I don't know what can scream any louder. But the artist and showing how things come through in the visual arts and the canvas and all of that coming through with the 9 of Cups is crazy. Queen of Coins, you know my sermon on that. You guys could probably write that sermon. This is the knowing the value, stacking the coins, knowing what's in the pantry, knowing how to make use of things in the really, really good way when you're making the bread from scratch, when you're connecting with your ancestors by cooking their recipes, when you're kitchen witchery like Steph does, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then the Empress, don't doubt yourself. Holy cow. Show them this Empress. This is fantastic. Fantastic. This is one that is mindful, thoughtful, not just prego to the moon and back. Very, very brilliant mind on this Empress that's coming through. It wants us to be thinking about all the different ways, and this one has those rays coming out, kicking out so strong. All the different angles and factors and variables that create things. All the different rays necessary in the rainbow, all the different colors necessary in the rainbow. And navigating through something, it feels like there is a time where things are not necessarily clear, but the clarity is coming, it's coming, it's coming. Sit in your power, sit in the space that you feel you're thrown around you, where you're sitting in the comfortable chair, in your big bum comfy chair, your comfy cozy chair, where you know exactly who you are. Sit in your power, be in your power, honor this. This is huge coming through. Queen of Pentacles is huge coming through. Nine of Cups, huge coming through. This is what we wish for, and it's not saying get contented and be overly content. It's not, it doesn't feel the negative meaning of this. It doesn't feel the reverse meaning. It feels the upright meaning. The wish is here. We just need to understand that we are already in it. We've been creating all along, and brilliant creators at that. Don't underestimate the brilliance that it took to get you where you are in this now moment. It took a lot to get that creative, to get you exactly where you are in life. You created a huge amount of good situations to come along to this far point. The Hermit. Take good care of yourself. Isolate when necessary. Insulate when necessary. And expect that going through the dark night of the soul and making it so you can show light for others is going to have taken some effort, some work, some valor, and some sacrifice to do that kind of climb. This is big. This is something that has happened. This is something that you need to know and balance. These two majors, balance. But they are coming in very, very strong. A little bit of mothering of the self needs to be here. Mothering of the self, mothering of the soul self needs to be here. Nell would love this card. Page of Pentacles. Nell would absolutely love this. Bring your kid talents to the fore for you to enjoy that you can color and do a really great coloring page. Bring the kid talents to the fore. Don't expect it to be perfect. If you make homemade bread and you're trying to follow grandma's recipe, but it's not your traditional thing, and it comes out and it's not a crisp briquette, honor the success, and no matter how it comes out of the oven. This is fantastic. Bring the talent to the fore. Bring it to the forefront. Wow. Anything else? Is there one? There is one more. Oh, wow. You guys, your spiritual gifts are strong. They are potent. They are powerful. Don't underestimate them. Don't dismiss them. They are here for a reason. If only for you to navigate your own life and what you're creating in a little bit of a different way and to honor it. This is where we are having major, major breakthroughs in our life. Major, major bulldozing the, what would be considered generational curses. Bulldozing into the legacy. We have the weight of the ancestors helping us push through this time. It is damn difficult on earth right now. It is tough. We are ready. We are strong enough. We are ready. Even though we feel small or only one or insignificant. The progress that we make in just the daily grind is incredible. It's incredible what we're doing. Honoring this and bringing this through, huge.
Krista, but I literally thought the only one missing was her.
Yeah, and this is your intuition knowing. This is pre-déjà vu. When you think that and it, yeah, that's pre-déjà vu. I might have to order this. Write down shuttle mirror. I'm going to have to order this. Yeah, these are not the cheapity cheaps, but they're beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. I'm going to have to play with these more after I get home. I mean, I haven't hardly even had time to play with them. But that's what I've got for you guys today. I love doing this. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for doing this with me. It's such an exciting and interesting time to be alive.
Christopher, well, pre-déjà vu happens to me all the dang time.
Yeah. So trust it. All right. I'll let you guys go. Much love. Mwah. Thank you for being here, everyone.
Angie's ordering lots today.
I'm telling you. Well, sometimes I order two right off the jump, and it's like, I should have just ordered one. These ones I ordered one off the jump, and I should have just ordered two. Oh, well.
Steph, but thank you. Much love. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Krista. Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great rest of their day. Your day. Angie, you'll be back Monday.
See you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take care, everybody.
Take care, everyone.
Big love. Big hugs. Mwah. Bye, guys.